Hey everybody, it's Joey Richardson. Um, uh, well, let's just say Georgia football I love, but I missed the start of the game this weekend because I was out of town, but I did end up watching some of the game at someone else's house. And, yeah, I missed most of the first half. Basically, it was a 10-all ball game when I started watching it. So, yeah, I guess what I missed was Swift's touchdown run, and South Carolina's quarterback passing touchdown, and the two field goals that were kicked, one between each team. That, but yeah, Georgia ended up getting upset by South Carolina, and to be honest, I was talking so much trash on Facebook. That's why I feel like I'm kind of not receiving as much love as I could get from there. Maybe because I'm being too negative about my favorite teams, or maybe everybody's just busy these days. Whatever the case may be, hopefully it gets better. But anyhow, Georgia get upset by South Carolina 20-17. And what went wrong? Do I even have to share stats? Swift had 114 yards rushing and a TD. Fromm went 28 of 51 for 295 yards, 1 TD, 3 interceptions. And one of those interceptions he threw was to a 6'4" cornerback who would return it all the way to the end zone for a TD. Now, if you ask me, should a 6'4" cornerback be playing? Should a 6'4" cornerback exist? I would say no. If you're 6'4", you shouldn't be playing corner. I think 6'4" cornerbacks should be banned. You can hate me for saying that, but if Georgia gets one, I'll think differently. But until then, no 6'4" cornerback should be playing at that position. Okay, so let me just say that it's been hard to swallow. It's been hard to get around. But I realize it's just a game, and Georgia could still sneak their way into the playoffs if they won out. They would have to win out to get to the playoffs. And South Carolina, to be honest, had a bye week, and they had an extra week to prepare for Georgia. I don't think that was fair, but that's how it worked out. And this loss of Georgia makes me officially hate the Gamecocks. That's right, I hate the Gamecocks. And if a Gamecock fan sees this, just know I hate the Gamecocks, and you can deal with it, or you just don't watch my videos. Sorry. I would cheer for the SEC no matter what, but especially Georgia, I would cheer for. I even cheer for Alabama when they're not playing Georgia. So, anyways, yeah, I mean, it's been tough. I mean, Fromm had one of his interceptions bounce off a receiver's hands in overtime. Thankfully, the kicker South Carolina missed in their possession of overtime. But Rodrigo did miss, had a field goal blocked, and he missed the one that cost them to lose the game in overtime. I mean, for Fromm to have to air it out 51 throws. I mean, but the problem relies with Kirby Smart and the coaching staff. You got new coordinators on each side, and you wonder, are they qualified for their job? Is Kirby Smart play calling too? Is Kirby Smart being too conservative with the play calling? Does something need to change? And I even believe it, and many other fans do too, believe that Kirby Smart is becoming another Mark Richt. Is that a Georgia thing? Is it seriously like Georgia? Does Georgia hire coaches and they just end up being like Mark Richt now? I am going to say Kirby Smart is starting to look like another Mark Richt, just able to recruit better than what Mark Richt was able to do. Mark Richt couldn't recruit as good as Kirby. They didn't have too many 5-star offensive linemen that ever committed to Georgia. But he's had more 5-star linemen, Kirby has, than Mark Richt did. John Diaz was one of the 5-star linemen. And there was a guy that people forget about, Cordy Glenn or something like that. I think he was a 5, and Trenton Sturdivant. Those are a few, but Kirby's had, those were a few of the 5-stars that I can think of. Kirby Smart already has had a lot, but if you look at those 3 guys, those go over a lot longer than Kirby Smart's short tenure here in Georgia. I mean, Kirby has recruited better than Mark Richt so far, especially at the O-line position. And as far as quarterback goes, he's had 2 5-stars, including Eason, who was originally a Richt commit. So you gotta think the recruiting side of Kirby has been better. But the game itself, Kirby could have kicked a game-winning field goal attempt before the clock, but he wanted to do a play on their down end. They get a legal procedure that bats him out of field goal range, and I was thinking Rodrigo could still go for it. It would be a 60-yard try, but at least give Rodrigo a chance. No, he decided not to go for it and play for overtime. It was kind of stupid. I just think the coaches of Georgia are not doing as well this year. It sucks when you lose your defensive coordinator to a head coaching job and your offensive coordinator to Tennessee for the same position. He was wanting to get paid more, so yeah, that's why Chaney left. Coley, I wanted him to be an offensive coordinator, but now I'm wondering if he's being too repetitive with his play calling. He needs to change it up a little bit. Coley may not last long in Athens if he doesn't change up anything he's doing. I mean, I'm reading fans' comments about the play calling being too repetitive, being too predictable. Maybe that is true. Maybe when teams have time to study for you and study hard, they'll pick up on what you're doing, and that's what's going to happen. And it just makes me so mad that Georgia didn't seem to have it. The O-line was garbage. I mean, heck, the center fumbled a snap or had a bad snap or something. Either Fromm didn't get it cleanly or something happened. The snap was fumbled. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of Trey Hill being the center. That's the only mistake I've seen him made this whole season. Supposedly some of his snaps were too low. He came in as an offensive guard. And I won't tell you why else I didn't agree with him being a center. it's far deeper than what you'd want to hear. I did tell somebody that's a Georgia fan what I thought about him being the center. Let's just say it would make some people mad if I said why Trey Hill shouldn't be the center. Sorry. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, it sucks to lose, but who's next on the schedule? Forget the stats. Forget the stats. I just want to know because I don't feel like reading any stats. Kentucky, the 19th. Yep. Yep, this upcoming Saturday at 6 p.m. It'll be Georgia and Kentucky. And what would this game be on? ESPN, per usual. That's where most of the Georgia games have been at. So, I want Georgia to be ready for Kentucky. Their day one starter, Terry Wilson, is out with a leg injury and will miss the season. They had a transfer from Troy come in and take the job after two of their QBs transferred out. And those guys could have been playing if they would have just if one of them would have just stayed at Kentucky. But no, they wanted to leave and go somewhere else. But that's why they got the grad transfer from Troy to fill in. I don't know if he's really that good or if the team's really that good. They were beating Florida until Kyle Trask came in and won. I think that game took a lot out of Kentucky and has since lost their confidence. And you got a grad transfer who's relatively new, maybe didn't get enough time to learn the playbook, maybe just needs more development. But Georgia still needs to be ready. They need to play good from here on out. I do think Kentucky could beat Georgia if Georgia's hanging over from that loss. But I'm hoping Georgia comes out with a lot of fire and energy and do better executing on the field. Because I just worry about this Georgia team going forward after that loss to South Carolina. It shouldn't have happened. It really shouldn't. I just think Georgia overall was garbage that South Carolina game, and the play calling was garbage, and Coach Smart is making me think he's another Mark Richt. So there you have it. I just think he's a better recruiter than Mark Richt, but the coaching may seem the same, and their records may seem identical too. So who knows? I'm still a dog fan. But that extension you gave Kirby, you're wondering now, should I have done it? Just like they made a mistake with Mark Richt's extension. I shouldn't be comparing the two, but it's starting to look like they're not the same type of coach. But they're looking similar as far as record-wise and conservative play calling. All that seems to be the same. It's just Kirby will get in a player's face where Richt didn't do it as much. So we'll see how this goes, y'all. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I really just didn't have a lot to say. I'm just kind of upset, disappointed, whatever. I kind of just wanted to express a little bit of frustration. And oh yeah, YG football sucks. Look it up if you get mad at Georgia losing. It definitely shows. It's a 2007 video on YouTube, but still watch it if you want to see terrible Georgia plays that were made. You might actually enjoy it. But no, I should never share something like that after Georgia loses. It was just me channeling my frustrations. So thank you all for watching, and see you next time. Bye.